What is going on, TCG enjoyers? Ciaran here with some more tabletop games. Very topical matchup today. I've got Dragapult against Gardevoir, what we just saw in the finals of Atlanta Regionals. I'll be on the right playing a Dragapult Dusknoir deck. On the left will be Christian Labella, a great young player from Toronto, rocking Gardevoir. So this matchup, I think, is definitely Gardevoir favored. I don't think it's like crazy Gardevoir favored or anything. Gardevoir does have the Clefairy that lets the Dragon Pokemon weakness. But the Dragapult deck does have Dusknoir and can use Badoo to kind of slow the game down until the Dragapult deck is ready for some big swing turns. So I flashed my prizes there. I prized double Dracloak, so that is going to be very annoying for me in this game. But what's it called? It's still fine. I still have 2 in the deck, and I can still use Rare Candy or something to make some more Dragapults. So, but yes, definitely you would love to have more Dracloaks, especially if Christian can get a Badoo off, because then I have to draw them naturally, or I have to draw Jacques. But it looks like his hand is just kind of weak here in the opening. He might have to just go for an Iono, which would be great for me if I don't have to worry about the Itchy Pollen. So, yep, here comes the Iono. So, going to give me some new cards. I mean, my hand didn't have an energy in it, so I'm not hating this. It gives me a chance to kind of set up more. Next turn, I'm definitely looking to Itchy Pollen. And then just get a couple Dracloaks if I can. So, Christian hits the Poffin, but he's going to miss the energy. Missing the energy is going to be very annoying for him. He would have loved to retreat this turn, you know, into like something like that Badoo and really try and slow me down. So he's just going to show his prizes real quick. Nothing crazy. There's like 1 candy, 1 counter catcher, but he plays multiple copies of those cards, so he should still be all right. So yeah, I think he probably just wants to go double Ralts here if he can. He does play TM Evolution, so if he can get that eventually, that can also be helpful for him. And kind of just evolve that way, get the double Kirlia going, because I am going to be doing a lot of Itchy Pollen, so for him he's going to need to evolve using the Kirlias. So I kind of flashed my hand there. It has a lot of stuff in it, no supporter though. I do have Ultra Ball if I want to get Dracloak. I don't have a lot of good cards to discard. I have that Rescue Board in my hand. That's definitely a card I want to use so I can retreat to the Badoo and not have to waste energy attachment to retreat. But I have to Ultra Ball the Nest Ball and the Feds if I want to do that, which honestly I think is okay. Like, Christian's not going to be taking prizes for a little while, especially since I'm Badoo locking him, so just getting that Dracloak down is just going to let me set up and draw a lot of cards. So here I have to decide between a GP and a Crispin. I have another GP in my hand, so I kind of go for the Crispin. I prize 2 Dracloak, like I said, so I don't even need 4 GP this game, because I can't evolve them all into Dracloaks. So yeah, getting that Crispin is just going to help me have energy on the board. One thing in this matchup is once you attack with Dragapult, it will go down very fast because of the opponent's Lily's Clefairy. So by getting the energy spread like this, eventually I'm going to have multiple Dragapults to work with. And I have another Fire energy in my hand as well. So one thing I maybe could have done is put 2 Fires down and save the Psychic, because I do have a Dragapult in my hand, so that way if I Rare Candy I could have saved the Psychic and then attached it, but I think the way I did it's like not that big of a deal. So yeah, now in Christian's turn, he's got to kind of figure out what to do. He does get that Artisan into play. I'm not going to be able to take that big advantage of it because I already pretty much have all my Pokemon I need. And Christian's hand is not looking very strong, so he might have to go for a Cleffa. So this is again like kind of like the power of Badoo, denying some item cards. Not that he has any that strong. But yeah, he's going to have to use that Turo to get into that Cleffa. So this is really big for me because it's going to give me a lot of time to set up. Just because he doesn't get a Kirlia down, so I know I have at least 2 more turns to work with here. And he also doesn't have energy in the discard. And getting energy in the discard without items is very difficult. He can't play Ultra Ball, he can't play Earthen Vessel, so Christian's gonna have to rely on that Professor's Research. So on my turn here, I think I'm just looking to set up. Just get more Dracloaks if I can, get energy, get my Dragapults ready, and kind of go from there. So I did a Recon directive there. I have a tough decision between Candy and Counter Catcher. I end up going with a Candy, I think because I have a Dragapult in my hand, so I can just set that up, especially since I prized 2 of my Dracloaks. So now that last shipping of my Dracloak, instead of me having to give up one of my Dracloaks, which is my draw engine. The only weird thing is I don't have a Psychic, so I do have to attach to my Dracloak, but I'm fine with that just because I can just Itchy Pollen. I'm not too scared of Christian doing anything crazy, so. Right now on his turn, he does get that Kirlia, which is great for him. He really likes to see that. He has TM Evo in his hand, so if he wants to make another Kirlia and a Gardevoir, he can definitely go ahead and do that. Doesn't look like he has anything else crazy strong. I think there might be an Iono in his hand. He might just be holding that. I think if you TM Evos, he should have maybe done it with Monkey Dory. That way he can retreat next turn, get the energy in the discard. Because by having it on the Cleffa, if I just Badoo again, you can't retreat and start getting some energy in the discard. So, alright, now my turn here. I think I just grab an Iono off of the Recon Directive, so now I can draw cards. I do have to Earthen Vessel my second rare candy, which is not ideal, because now I can't rare candy Dusknoir. But it is going to guarantee that I get a Psychic Energy. If I get Dusclops, I can also just manually evolve up to a Dusknoir. I do decide just to secure the Psychic Energy. And I think I took the second one, just because I don't want to draw into it again. So, alright, so here comes my draws. It's like an okay hand, nothing crazy. I have the Dragapult for next turn, which is good. If I want to evolve my my Draclickle on the bench, and that is important because if my opponent goes, if Christian goes like Monkey Dory, Mew, Clefairy EX, you can go like Phantom Dive, Dragapult, knock out a Dracloak. So sometimes preemptively evolving them both to Dragapult is good. So that could be a play. But here, I don't think my attacking into a Clefairy does much for me. So I think it's best to just keep doing Itchy Pollen. Like I said, Christian still doesn't have any energy in the discard. I can just keep continuing with this Badoo, and then if he just does Cleffa again, I probably can just like Badoo again if I really want to, or I can go for a play where I start using like my Dusclops, my Counter Catcher, because I have items I can force myself to go behind. So we can see Christian's hand has like a lot of strong cards. Like I can see that Secret Box, right? But he doesn't have the ability to play it just because he is under that Badoo lock. So he's got to kind of decide what to do here. I think he has some supporters, or he can just kind of wait and see. Maybe he could consider getting his own Badoo, but then that is a little risky because then there's a Cleffa and a Badoo on the board. So that's basically just 2 free prizes for me to Phantom Dive off the board eventually when I go for it. He has Bravery Charm maybe later to try and fix that, but not ideal. So he's just going to play boss and then just use Cleffa. The boss lets him draw a card, maybe makes it so I can energy to retreat. But it shouldn't really be too big of a deal for me to get an energy here. I mean, I guess I do have 4 in play, so I only have 2 left. So I guess it is actually fair for him to go for that boss. But luckily for me, I do have the retreat. So I am going to go for the Phantom Dive. Honestly, maybe I could have gone for Badoo again because I would have taken a prize and then Christian probably still wouldn't be doing much. But instead, I'm going to go for this line where I hit the Kirlia for 50 and I'm going to Counter Catcher and do 200 of the Gardevoir and knock out the Kirlia. My idea kind of being like, okay, like now that the Gardevoir is damaged, if Christian does take prizes with something like a Lily's Clefairy, I do have the option to Counter Catcher Iono, take out the Gardevoir threat. So, yeah. That's kind of what I go for here. I definitely should have evolved the other Dracloak if I had another Dragapult. I think I did, right? So, like, I should have done that, because now if Christian can get Dark Energy, Mew EX, Clefairy EX, I would be in trouble, because he can knock out my Dragapult and my Dreepy. I don't have Rare Candy to make another Dragapult, so I kind of would just lose. I mean, Christian has, like, no energy in the discard, so I was like, it's not that likely, but it's not honestly that crazy for him to get. So, especially when he has Secret Box. The Cleffa also, like, I didn't knock it out, because like I said, he has no energy in the discard. I don't want to put that in there for him. I'd rather just make him have to get all the energies and get rid of them manually here. So yeah, now if you're Christian, you definitely want to go for that play. I said if you pull off that play, I think you just win on the spot, kind of. Also, if you don't have a Dark, you could also go like Mew, Phantom Dive, knock out Duskull. That would also put him down to 2 prize cards, leave me at 5. I don't think there would be enough ways for me to take prizes. I'd have to basically just like Iono and pray. So lots of ways for him to progress his board here. Yeah, he has to use the Secret Box's item slot to get the Earthen Vessel, because like I said, he pretty much doesn't have any energy in the discard, or because he's been item locked the whole game, hasn't been able to play cards like Ultra Ball or Vessel, and he didn't actually have Vessel in his hand. His hand isn't the best. He would have really liked to see like that Vessel off the rip or just an Ultra Ball, because now the decision's hard. If he wants to guarantee these energy in the discard, he either has to research and get rid of a lot of resources, or he has to play like an Arven or something to get the Ultra Ball. So, maybe I don't hate going for a research here as Christian, because I do think you want to be aggressive. Because like I said, if you can get that Mew Clefairy play, I do think it puts like a crazy amount of pressure on me. Or it just wins the game on the spot, actually, I think. So I don't mind being aggressive if we have to go for it. But I think he's going to play more conservatively and just go for the Arven. and grab the Ultra Ball just to guarantee himself the Clefairy. So, yeah. But now I get to keep my hand, which is nice too. And I don't have to worry about him getting that play. So, yeah, if you Ultra Ball 2 Psychics, like you have a lot of outs. You just have to draw the Dark, or you have to draw Psychic to get that third energy for the Mew. But this way he has guaranteed attack with the Clefairy. So he has Bravery Charm. Bravery Charm on Clefairy is not going to do anything because he doesn't have Dark Energies. Because then if you put 2 on it with Psychic Embrace, it has 200 HP, so I just knock it out. So you probably want to put the Bravery Charm on the Cleffa. Because if you retreat this Gardevoir, Gardevoir's going to be at 240. And then if I do, if I do Dusclops, then it's going to be at 290. I can knock it out with Phantom Dive and knock out Cleffa. So you want to get the Bravery Charm on the Cleffa so I can't take 5 prizes on the following turn. So yeah, not having a Dark here really sucks for Christian. So we are seeing some of the weaknesses of Clefairy in the fact that it has such little HP. It can be knocked out with Phantom Dive. So. But he gets the knockout here. And the crazy thing is I can win this turn. I actually don't really need that much. I think I literally just need Dragapult Dusclops. Because I can go Dusclops, put 5 on that Gardevoir, put it up to 290, and then just go Phantom Dive, knock out Clefairy, knock out Gardevoir, knock out Cleffa. So, an EXP shared the Fire since I got rid of one last turn. My last energy in my deck is a Psychic. And I top deck Arven there, and I think I have Ultra Ball in my hand, so I should be able to just Super Rod and grab the Dusclops. You're gonna see I don't see it right away. Maybe I just, like, with the dice all the Gardevoir, like, I didn't realize 240, but yeah, I should have realized right away. Like, you can see I almost played the Ultra Ball first. And then I think I was thinking of some, like, convoluted counter catcher stamp plays because there's a stamp in my hand. I was thinking about that, like, knocking out Gardevoir stamping, and then I think I'm gonna realize in a second that I can just go for the what's it called? Super Rod play. So there you go. Even I sometimes don't realize when I have a game on board. So now I get the Super Rod. I think now here I'm just calculating in my head how much damage I need to do. I'm like, oh yeah, like there's a Cleffa. I forgot about Cleffa. That's enough to take all 5. So it is kind of crazy when you can just win in one turn like this. Like take 5 in one go. So here comes the Rod. There comes the Dusclops. And then I don't really know why I'm considering putting other stuff. I should just go right away. So yeah, really bad on my part. I didn't like see this right away. But I want to show you guys that sometimes even I mess up a little bit here. I do figure it out eventually, but made it way harder on myself than I needed. I don't know what math I was thinking. So yeah, I have another Dragapult in my hand, so don't worry that I discard that one. Then here I just grab the Dusclops, and then I'm just gonna evolve, and like that's going to be a game. So there you go. I put the 5 on the Gardevoir, evolve, and I had unfair stamp, so I think I just played it because I just wanted to see what he would have drawn. What I would have drawn. But yeah, now there's a game on board. You just go knock out Clefairy, 2 on Gardevoir, 1 on Cleffa, and that's 5 prizes in one go. Yeah, pretty interesting game 1. I think it kind of just shows the power of Bidoof, how when Bidoof slows down your opponent, you really just get the chance to pull off these crazy plays as Dragapult. So there you go. I'm going to take all 5 in one attack. Hey, hopefully you're enjoying the video. If you want to support me, consider checking out my Metafy group. I post puzzles, board state, VOD reviews, and I even do weekly group lessons. So if you're interested in supporting me, check that out. Otherwise, just enjoy the rest of the video. Alright, hopping into game 2 here, I have to go first. And my hand doesn't have Buddy Poffin in it. It doesn't even have a Dreepy, so it's not looking like a great start for me, and I top deck that counter catcher. I'm just going to have to go bench Duskull pass. And believe it or not, this game actually ends up being crazy at the end with me having a crazy turn trying to win. So stick with this game. It'll be entertaining in the long run because Christian prizes Bidoof. So he really wanted the Bidoof turn 1, but he's not going to be able to. If he can get that Bidoof off, I think like it's just lights out for me. There's no way I'm setting up. He also prizes Secret Box. So 2 pretty good prizes for me. Very bad for him, obviously. So instead, he's probably going to have to go for like Cleffa or something this turn, or like TM Evo if he has an Arven. You could go like attach to Ralts, the next turn attached, and you could knock out my Bidoof. That's also viable, but he probably wants to just set up, get the Curlias going, get energy in the discard. So he's just gonna buddy for 1 Ralts because he already has Cleffa in his hand, and then he can kind of decide from here what he wants to do. So I mean, he has Ultra Ball. You can get his Psychic in the discard. I like that. And then might change his mind. He's going to go for get rid of double Iono. I know that seems like a lot, but he has a research in his hand, and he's just going to go for the research because he knows my hand's not very good, right? So this is a play that I think a lot of good players are able to make, is understanding when it's okay to give up resources to play a more aggressive game. So Christian's not going to need those Ionos if there is no late game because he just stomps me super hard in the early game because I can't set up. So good recognition by him there to kind of go for that. So I think he plays it a bit safe by not just researching that Psychic, because then if he researches the Psychic, gets another one, we can get more in the discard if I Itchy Paw on him. But he has the Vessel here, so it's not going to end up mattering. He can just get some more. But I mean, it's like 2 energy in the discard versus having 3. And he's actually going to fail the Vessel because he has Iono in his hand, so I think he might play Iono next turn and just want to... Or he actually, no, sorry, he doesn't want to clog his hand for Cleffa, that's why. So I top deck Nest Ball, so I do have some life. My prizes, I think I had double Arven, and I have a Dragapult, which is going to be a very important prize for some foreshadowing later in the game. So here I just have to grab a GP. I mean, I know Christian can't knock me out next turn because he can't play items, no rare candies coming. I'm thinking about evolving or not. I think I'm just worried about if I get bossed, it can get stuck, but I think it's worth it to evolve that Dusclops, just so later in the game, it's a lot easier for me to make a Dusk Noir. So Christian is going to develop the Monkey Dory, which is very important for him in this matchup. If your opponent can get even just one Monkey Dory, like if you do that play I kind of talked about earlier, we use Mew EX to copy Phantom Dive. You move 30 to like a GP, a Dracloak, a Dusclops, and you can Phantom Dive, knock out both. So getting Monkey online is huge for him. It also can send my Badoo damage back to me. So as I attack the Cleffa here, he can just move the damage back to Badoo and eventually knock it out that way. So it would be a lot stronger if he had his Badoo, because then he could do a little Badoo war and his Badoo doesn't take damage effectively. So instead he's just going to do Monkey Dory, and then he's gonna use Cleffa. He benches that Clefairy just to thin his hand a bit, and he's just gonna use it later. But it does put a target on the board for you to take advantage of later. So off this recon, I'm kind of just looking for like ways to draw cards. I think like get an Arven even. I don't know, would be good. Arven would be really nice to get me Buddy popping. So I have a tough decision here. I can't remember what these 2 cards are. So it looks like I took something. I wish I had a better camera angle. Alright, there comes a Vessel. I get rid of my second Badoo. I mean, second Badoo could be useful because my first one might go down. But you have to be careful with Badoo in this matchup because your opponent can just do Monkey Dory and take it out for a prize later in the game. So I'm just going to Itchy Pawn again. I don't know why I thought for a second I was like, oh, I need to change the damage on mine. No, I don't. So I'm just going to put that back to 10. It's only when Christian does the monkey that I'm going to have to change my damage. So yeah, I'm gearing up for a Phantom Dive next turn. My hand, like, the bad thing is if I go for Phantom Dive next turn is I don't have another Dracloak ready, so I'm going to eventually have to go like Rare Candy Dragapult if I want to attack again. So yeah, now if you're Christian, like you maybe like attach the Clefairy, start getting it ready. I think he'd love a Bravery Charm on the Clefairy. That way I have to pop Dusclops on the Clefairy if I want to knock it out. And that kind of just slows my prize trade down. So he puts down the Artisan. I'm happy to see that because I need more basics for sure. And then Christian's going to get his 3rd Ralts. I think he definitely has to do this. I think in my hand, I do have the Counter Catcher, so I was next going to knock out both his Ralts, and then he'd be in trouble. I guess attaching the Clefairy kind of plays around that a little bit, because if I knock out the double Ralts, then he can still attack the Clefairy. But if I don't bench that Pokemon, he actually can't knock down the Clefairy. So I guess no, it doesn't work. So definitely need that 3rd Ralts. So here I'm going to put 50 on the Monkey Dory. The math is perfect that if I Phantom Dive 6, it's going to get knocked out. And then now, since I'm technically losing, I can just do the Counter Catcher play. So I do my Dracloak first before I'm going to play my supporter because I have Dragapult in my hand. I'm going to evolve. Proper sequencing. I should have done this before I popped the Dusclops. It's not really going to matter. So this is a pretty good swing turn for me here. I'm going to take out the Clefairy, get the Phantom Dive. Christian doesn't have Curlia, which means next turn he has to get Rare Candy, Gardevoir, Stretcher if he wants to take the knockout. So to me, I'm like, all right, this is a good turn for me to break the lock before he does get the chance to draw Curlia. So I'm like, if I can buy a turn here where he doesn't knock out my Dragapult, I should be in a pretty decent position. And then I'm going to Arzon for the other GP so that I can kind of get set up eventually. And then what else am I working with in my hand? I think I have a Stretcher if I want to get back like a Dusclops or a Duskull, sorry. I decide against it. I don't need it right away. Yeah, am I going to play it? I feel like I should play it just to get the Duskull back, just so I can threaten a little bit. But no, I just go for the Phantom Dive, knock those 2 out, and I get 3 prize cards. So that's pretty big for me. So Christian's really looking here for that rare candy Gardevoir and then a stretcher. So we can see he has Gardevoir in his hand. He would love to get that secret box if he could. So he's going to nest ball for the Fez. Definitely correct here. He's looking for a rare candy stretcher. Arvin could help a little bit if he gets one of the pieces. So there's going to be a pretty big Fez for him here. And it looks like he whiffs. Ooh, not that good. He gets Curlia. He has some Ultra Balls, but that's not really going to be very helpful. Yeah, so I don't really know what you do here as Christian. He has the TM Evos if he needs it, but he doesn't have a Psychic Energy to use with it, so not going to be super helpful. So maybe you grab like second Curlia if you have it here. That could be helpful. Just so I don't knock out the only Curlia he has. Otherwise, I don't really know what he would need. Alright, so we're gonna have a Monkey Dory come down. And a Cleffa. Nice. So that was huge for me to kind of survive that turn. Now I have the option to get another Cloak, get an energy on it. I'm gonna get myself down to 2 prize cards. So I think this turn really just needs to be about me preparing for his Iono on the following turn. I know he's already gone rid of 2, but I have to assume he's going to have 1 more. Or he might even play like 4, right? So off this Recon, there's like Pop and Super Rod. I think I should have taken Super Rod because that way I could have Super Rodded back the Dusclops in my deck. I think I already had another Pop in my hand. And there's an Arzon, so I don't know why I took Pop, and I probably should have just preemptively played Super Rod. So I'm going to get double Dreepy here. I think what I would have liked to see myself do is get Dreepy and get a Duskull, and then Ultra Ball, put Fez down preemptively. That way if Dragapult goes down, I have Fez to draw cards. Or I have, like my Dragapult, my Fez gets knocked out. So I'm going to play Crispin here as well, just to set up my second Dragapult, or my Dracloak, so then I just have to evolve it next turn and I'll be ready to attack. So that's pretty good for me. I have a Dracloak on board to draw cards. I think I went double Dreepy just so I could chain Dracloaks if I get Ionoed. But yeah, I think I should have just Ultra Balled for Fez. I don't need double Dreepy because it requires me to draw the Dracloaks. So, and here I think I just split the damage from Phantom Dive on the one on the Fez, so it just needs a boss to knock that out for game. And I think I go like the rest split across the Ralts. I can't tell exactly how I place those, but I think it's like 20, 10, 10 or something. Or 20, 20, and 10, I think. Yes, now for Christian here, definitely looking for the Iono. Alright, now he has Rare Candy Gardevoir. That's pretty nice for him. He has double Gardevoir there. Yeah, so that Ralt's having 10, I can just Phantom Dive it for game, which is pretty nice for me. So if I can draw like a boss or something and Phantom Dive, I can boss Monkey Dory, Phantom Dive the Ralts. If Christian can hit a Dark, that could maybe help. And here he has Secret Box, so that's just going to guarantee him the Iono, which is great. Yeah, I think it doesn't matter too much what discard. The Screamtail could be useful later. He's going to play Iono, so I guess he doesn't need research this turn. I mean, it's pretty much like I either win next turn or I lose, so Iono's probably the only sport that really matters here. I don't even know what item we pick here. Maybe a Nest Ball or something? I think he has Stretcher in his hand, maybe, to get the Clefairy. I'm not 100% sure, though. I mean, we probably have to tag with Gardevoir. If you tag with Clefairy without a Dark, I'm just going to knock out with Phantom Dive. So, for the same reason, we can't really attack with Mew. Because he gets the Stretcher, so I think he doesn't have one in his hand. So you can use that to get the Clefairy, I guess. And then, yep, there it is. So yeah, he'd love to see a Dark Energy as well. That would be helpful. Counter Catcher if he wants it, but there's really no reason to not knock out my active. Yeah, maybe I could have put the Charm on the Ralts, but it doesn't matter too much, assuming he doesn't draw a Dark. But he gets it, so I'm like, he can Dark. I guess he could heal the Ralts. Oh, He puts the vessel. Puts the charm on the Fez. I don't think is that necessary. Then he knocks out my Budu with the Ralts. It's 3 on guard. But I think here we kind of discuss, like, should we heal the Gardevoir? Because now if you put 6 on Gardevoir, I just need Dusclops to win instead. Whereas if you take it off the... If you leave it on the Ralts, I need... what's it called? A boss to win. Which I only play 1 copy. So, yeah, I think we're talking about that here. He's a bait time Clefairy, but again, doesn't work unless you heal the Clefairy. So whoever you attack with, I think you have to heal. So yeah, I think we decide here that it's better to take the damage off the Gardevoir attack with that than I need a Dusknoir if I want to take the knockout. Which is a lot harder for me to draw than just a Dusclops. Dusclops I can just go with Stretcher. So yeah, so we decide ultimately, yeah, heal the Gardevoir so it's out of Dusclops range for game. Yeah, I only have 1 copy of boss, so it's not too big a deal. We also could have Bravery Charmed the Ralts instead of the Fez, but then I guess you lose to Fez, boss on Fez. So maybe, I think the Charms should have gone like on Fez and Ralts instead of Clefairy. Not that big of a deal, I still need a bunch of cards, so. Alright, I get a Dracloak off my own note, which is pretty good. I'm going to Artisan here and just fail. Reason being is I had a lot of good cards in my hand. I had Stretcher, I had Ultra Ball, I think I had 2 Ultra Balls. So I kind of just want to shuffle the deck up. So that I have a chance for those cards to hop to the top. Alright, so I take the Ultra Ball. That's going to turn to Fez for me. I think I should probably Ultra Ball now. Or no, I hold it because I want to see a Pokemon because I can Ultra Ball for Dragapult. So I don't know what I got off of the Recon. Alright, well, we'll all find out together. I played this match, I should know, but I can't forget. Counter Catch in my hand, it's not useful. Okay, so I took Iono, because I guess Iono gives me a way to draw cards. So now I think I just Ultra Ball for the Fez. I think I Ultra Ball for Fez because I think Arven's a better supporter than playing Iono. Arven can get me like Unfair Stamp, for example. Or if I draw good stuff off of the Fez. Yeah. I can combo that with Arven, so. Alright, pretty big Fez draw here. I'm looking for a Stretcher, a Super Odd, the Dragapult. I get Jacques. So if I would have Super Odd last turn, I would have had game. Because I could have just Jacques and then got Dusclops, Dragapult. So pretty big punish on me not playing Super Odd last turn. But I do draw the Unfair Stamp. So I could Stamp and see what I get. And then that saves my supporter. So, but I've used all my draw effects. So I'm really just living off the Stamp. But Stamp's pretty good. If I can hit Arven plus like Dragapult, Arven plus Ultra Ball. So I'm going to go for the Stamp here. So basically all in here. I'll look at R5. I'll do them one at a time. There's Arven, that's a huge draw. EXP share and Ultra Ball. So I don't have game immediately. There's Jacques again showing up, being like, hey, you should have played Super Odd last turn so you could use me. But I do have a shot to win here. So I think I mentioned earlier that I have a Dragapult in my prize cards. I can't remember if I did or not, but there's a Dragapult in my prizes. So I think I realized pretty quickly here that, like, no, I don't need to take Dragapult. I can take Dusknoir. I can get an Arven for Rare Candy. And use the Dusknoir to knock out a Monkey Dory. And then I have a 50-50 shot at pulling the Dragapult off my prizes. So basically this game is going to come down to a coin flip. So pretty crazy turn of events. So yeah, I'm going to take it. So there you go. I'm pointing, telling Christian that I prized my last Dragapult. Triple checking I didn't discard too. So. And then here comes the Arven. We're going to get that candy. For the Dusknoir. And then, yeah, that 10 damage on roll, it's going to be relevant. Christian showed me he drew a boss off his Unfair Stamp, so it's do or die. I knock out the monkey. Then here we go. I tell Christian to pick which prize. He picks that one, and he picks correct. It was not the Dragapult. So, pretty good game. Came down to the wire. But now we are going to go to a deciding game 3. All right, so now game 3. I get to go second this time. You see me draw a card because I'm so used to going first, but I was like, whoops, I just want to draw to start my turn. There might have been a mulligan. No, I think I just drew by accident. Yeah, there you go. I put it back. All right, so Labella gets the Poffin in the opening hand, which is pretty nice whenever you go first playing an evolution deck. And he started the Cleffa, which actually isn't ideal, because then if you put Spadoo down, there's 2 targets you can just take a knockout on. So he doesn't love to see that. But you'll take it if you get to open with Poffin. Then he has Vessel, I think Ultra Ball in his hand or something. That's also a really good start. So yeah, like you could see in the first game, right? Like I was just able to kind of like lock him before he got energies in the discard and got set up. But now he has the ability to get all these energies in the discard. He has an Artisan as well to get that Monkey Dory established with the Dark, which is huge. So even if I play Iono, he's going to have the option to use Monkey Dory. So yeah, really, really good start for him. And then now we go to my turn. I've got my Poffin, check the prizes. Unfair Stamp, that's a really big prize. I can't use that if he puts on some pressure early, but I also have Poffin in my hand, which is good for me. So going to get down that Badoo so I can use the item lock to block his rare candies. I can use the Artisan as well to get some more basics. So yeah, I have a nice setup on my end. I would love to have an Arvin or something to use rescue board, but I just have to retreat manually with a Psychic. Not ideal. Not the end of the world, to be honest. I do have Jacques in my hand, so I could preemptively play it. But I know his deck has a high count of Iono, so I just hold off on playing it. So I don't just put all my Dracloaks in my hand, because I think I already had one, right? So if I do get Iono, I'll have the option to draw them. So here, Christian's going to get the Arvin, gets himself a TM Evolution, and that's just going to get him double Curlia. We know he has Gardevoir in his hand, so he can just, evolve to Guardian next turn and start putting some pressure. And that Artisan's going to stay in place, so he's not going to have trouble getting like another Monkey Dory. If you can see another Monkey Dory, if he ever wants to Scream Tail me, Scream Tail's pretty good in this matchup. So, and then here comes Artisan. So I think he's just going to pick a Pokemon, that he can use TM Evo. You don't really want TM Evo with Cleffa, because we saw in the first game, the energy gets kind of stuck there. You'd rather put it on something that can retreat. So it looks like he's going to go for that Scream Tail. Scream Tail also has the added benefit that its first attack just does 30, so you can just knock out Badoo. Which is pretty good. Alright, so now my turn. I'm going to get the Dracloak. I have a Buddy Poffin. Get some more basics. Just going to get another Duskull, another GP. Both pretty good in this matchup. And also, yeah, my Badoo gets 10 because there's a monkey in play. I'm going to recon before I play Jacques to see what I get. I got the counter catcher, so then next turn if I want to go like Dusclops counter catcher, I can do that. And then here comes the Jacques. So pretty strong looking board. I want to see an energy as well, just so I can get that down. So it's easier for me to attack on the following turn. So I have a Psychic, put it down. Now the scary thing though is if Christian can get a Scream Tail attack off here, he can knock out my Dracloak with energy, and as we can see, he has research with energy in his hand, energy already in the discard, and that Gardevoir EX. So this game is definitely going to be a little tricky for me. He's going to put on a lot of pressure. So I think we're going to see this game, what happens when Gardevoir sets up really well. It's very hard for me to keep up. So he's debating putting down a Mew EX. He has the Bravery Charm to go with it, so I can't just Phantom Dive it. So I like putting it down. You're going to go Scream Tail this turn. But instead, he's just going to put on the Monkey Dory and just research. So I guess he's deciding, I don't really need this right now. I'm going to Scream Tail as my lead. I have a bunch of stretchers. I can get this back later if I really need it. So and even get the second Gardevoir EX. So super setup. I don't really have the option to take out his Guardy this game. So it's going to be very, very tricky. Then he's deciding he needs to bench anything else. He's gonna go for Guardy. I think he should definitely go for Scream Tail. I think he realized he has 2 energies. And the discard, he's like, oh wait, no, I can just go for Scream Tail. I think he just thought, yeah, I don't know why he was gonna go for the Guardy. But yeah, Scream Tail is definitely correct here. So the Scream Tail's at 5 damage now, does 100. Can knock out my Dracloak. And then now I probably have to like evolve that Dragapult to a Dragapult next turn so that I don't take, or I don't have the, or give Christian the option of knocking out my only Pokemon with energy again. So yeah, Screamtail's a very, very strong first attacker for Christian here. So he's also gonna just, since he has 5, he can put 10 on my Badoo and knock it out, and then that way he doesn't get Ishipalm next turn, or he can get Ishipalm, but it just requires me to commit a bit more resources to setting it up again. And now he takes the first 2 prizes. So now the game's gonna be like almost impossible for me to win. I think I'm gonna need way too much to go my way. Normally as Dragapult, you want to take the first couple of prizes and then kind of win the prize race that way. Just because Gardevoir is so good at taking these multi-prize turns as the game progresses. So I'm gonna take Arvin so I can get that rescue board, and then I think I'm just gonna get Nest Ball for Fez, which was the other card I could have picked off of my Recon Directive. So yeah. Then I'm going to Arzon. I think I'm going to get the Badoo just to try and slow him down a little bit, even though I know I'm going to get Screamtailed again. So, alright, so let's see what I get. Nothing crazy. There comes the Vessel. Energy down. Just a Dracloak. Oh, yes, that's right. I'm going to go for Counter Catch on the Guardy because he has no energy to discard there. That's right. That's what I'm going to go for. So I have Ultra Ball for Dragapult, but the rest of my hand's kind of weak, so I think I hold it. Because I'm like, oh, if I can survive this turn, then next turn I can get Recon, draw some more cards, then evolve. But Christian just has a Research with an energy in his hand, which is really massive, because now if he draws an energy off Research, which he does, he can just go attach Psychic Embrace Retreat, and then I'm going to get punished for not evolving. So yeah, I think at this point the game is pretty much like cooked. It's going to be almost impossible for me to come back from this. Yeah, like... But he doesn't knock out my Dracloak, does he? Oh yeah, he does. He just goes Monkey Dory, knock out Badoo, then knock out Dracloak, yeah. So takes 2 prizes again, I was gonna say. Yeah, because now that Dracloak going down is huge. I don't really have a good response now. Counter Catcher doesn't work anymore because there's energy in the discard, so he can just retreat. I drew a Crispin, so I mean if I had Rare Candy, I had Ultra Ball, Rare Candy. That doesn't really work though. There's a Clefairy on the bench. And even if I knock out the Clefairy, then Christian can just play Night Stretcher, Arvin. If he has Secret Box, can get there too. I'm just trying to think of any way I can win this game. I don't have Unfair Stamp either, so Arvin doesn't help. And then Badoo, I can't do Badoo again because the Monkey Dory's in place, so he'll just Monkey Dory it. So, let's see what I end up going for here. Yeah, I get rid of Dusknoir because Christian's going to go down to 1 prize next turn, assuming I don't lose, so I'm not ever going to be able to use Dusknoir, so I don't really need it. I'm going to use Dracloak. I do get Super Rod, which could be helpful to put some stuff back. Yeah, I think maybe my best play here is just like, I have a Crispin in my hand, so it's like maybe I set up the, I put a Dreepy down, use Crispin, put 1 on Dracloak, 1 on Dreepy, the next turn Rare Candy, I'm like Ion it a 1. Hope Christian doesn't have draw, and like I'd have to knock out his Clefairy, and I can knock out his Screamtail at the same time, so I can't win. So that's my line that I come up with of how I can win. It's kind of just doing that, but definitely not looking good for me here. But I think that's my only win condition, so you gotta play to your outs, right? This is game 3. You gotta try and win. And here comes Artisan to get one of those Dreepies. And then here comes the Crispin to kind of set that up, like I said. I think I debate, yeah, I go Nest Ball for the other GP, and I'm going to put the energies on those. That way, if he snipes my Dracloak, 2 things have energies. I don't think it matters that much, but just trying to make my Dracloak less appetizing for him to knock out. So, and the second one, yeah, I have to spread it, otherwise I just get Screamtailed, and then I don't have the option to attack next turn. So yeah, next turn is pretty much just Rare Candy, Dragapult, or Bust. I have Counter Catcher in my hand. There's going to be a Fez on the board, so if I can get Iono, it would be helpful. I think I just retreat so that he has to attack with Screamtail. He can't just use Gardevoir or something on my Dracloak. So now if you're Christian, you could win with Monkey Dory twice if you can do it, which I think he has. He puts 30 on my Duskull. And he has Turo to pick up that Monkey Dory. What else does he have? He have Stretcher. He has Super Rod, put the Dark back. Vessel, get the Dark. Monkey Dory again, so Duskull gets knocked out. And then knock out my Gardevoir for game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that set. If you do, please make sure to like and subscribe. And I've got some more games coming up. So yeah, thanks for watching. Check out my links down below if you want to support me. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys next time.